hour on a weekday. Spring leagues are underway, but stay tuned for info on indoor golf tournaments and book your bay for after the spring game in late April. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
One action, no matter how small, can have a world of impact on the life of a child. Cedars started because one couple believed that they could provide a child with a better life. And that belief grew into the Cedars that we know today, a powerful force for good that helps thousands of kids across Nebraska. Belief grows.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Soulful Casino in Havelock is a family-owned business, providing incredible food and service that'll have you craving more with every bite. Soulful Casino offers everything from pulled pork to fried chicken, catfish, ribs, and even quesadillas. You want sides? They've got them. From fries, green beans and baked beans, to collard greens, potato salad, and sweet dill corn. Stop by for lunch as they have specials Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. That's Soulful Casino, located in Havelock, where every bite you take fills the soul.
Alcohol has strained our relationship. Drinking too much can cause harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. By drinking less, we will save our relationship. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Mike Minner, what's up, bro?
When you look at Dylan, you're looking at quarterbacks that kind of come around once every 20 years. And this is a kid I'm looking at, I don't know how old he is, 17, 18 years old. And he is already directing things that 17, 18-year-old kids should not even know. Changing the line protection. Okay, guys, I don't know what we've been 2 weeks of practice. Come on, man. Well, we got guys in the National Football League that can't do that.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to Happy Hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, maybe I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
Did you understand anything I just said?
Yeah, I got it. I'm good at that.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
It sounds like we on path.
Yep, we're on a path.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Friday. This is the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert here, Rico there. Good afternoon, Enrique.
Yeller.
How's the Friday?
Amazing.
Any exciting plans this weekend?
Yes. I got a Supernovas matchup.
That is right.
Tomorrow against the San Diego Mojo.
Who trying to get some revenge.
Yes, a little bit of revenge. Currently, the season series sits at 1-1, with each team winning at home. San Diego comes to Omaha tomorrow, and then Omaha goes out to San Diego Tuesday.
Oh, so it's going to be quick.
Quick turnaround, getting the 4 games out of the way.
Wow.
Getting the 4 games out of the way. So we'll see what happens there. San Diego welcoming back Willow Johnson.
Okay.
Who was with the team at the very beginning, not the beginning of the season, but like training camp wise. and then ended up going over to somewhere in Asia. I don't remember the exact country, but she went over to Asia to play professionally. That season is over, so now she's back and she's with San Diego.
So when you look at the Pro Volleyball Federation, Atlanta taking control.
Atlanta is currently on a seven
Nice job,
winning
Enrique.
streak, which is the
Good job.
longest it's the first year, but the longest in the Professional Volleyball Federation history.
Yep.
They had 2 separate 5-game winning streaks, but the second one has now turned into a 7-game winning streak.
Yeah.
So they are the hottest team in the PVF right now.
They are 8-2 home and 8-2 away from Atlanta. So 16-4 on the season. Omaha behind them, 11-6. San Diego, just a couple of games behind Omaha at 7-8 overall.
2 weeks ago,
winners of 2 in a row. San Diego Mojo.
2 weeks ago, San Diego had 3 wins.
That's right. I remember that.
Then they beat Omaha for their 4th win, and have just been loading up on some
rolling on through. There it is. So that one first serve scheduled for what time, Rico?
7.
There you go. And we will have tickets to give away today, as I will give those away in our final segment. So stay tuned for that. 4:02.
6 p.m. pregame.
Thank you.
Right here on the Supernovas radio network.
Powered by 93.7 The Ticket.
Damn straight.
402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. All avenues for you to get in touch with the program. As always, thanks to Empire Fence and Netting for their support of the show as well. All right, so a couple of things that we definitely want to talk about here throughout the course of Friday. Nebraska Baseball officially will have alcohol starting immediately after the Board of Regents passed the vote 9 votes to 2 earlier today at the Regents meeting. Troy Dannon was in attendance. They also talked South Stadium project. So we'll kind of update you guys on that throughout the course of the hour. But more importantly, also college basketball recruiting, because there's been a lot of conversations, and we touched on it briefly at the end of the show yesterday. I know On the Block kind of touched on it a little bit. Husker fans are curious about Chucky Hepburn, and they're curious about what direction Nebraska basketball is going to go. And I think we also learned yesterday from On3's Robin Washut that Connor Esigian, the former Wisconsin Badger, was in town on Thursday, taking in the sights and sounds of Lincoln, participate in a workout as well with the Huskers, Connor Esigian. So it almost feels like, okay, the current state for Nebraska basketball, as we know, they have received the commitments of Andrew Morgan. They received the commitments of Gavin Griffiths, and then also Raleigh Worcester. 4 open scholarships for the Huskers remain. And there's a little bit of curiosity in what direction they go, whether that is a big man, depending on Rink Mass's kind of idea or plan going forward, but also potentially a new shooter, right? We talked about it with Steve on Wednesday. This is a senior-laden team going into 2024, 2025, and that's fine for this season, but you're going to already have to replace at least 6 scholarship players next offseason. You don't want to have that number get up to 10. You don't want that number to get up to 7 or 8 or 9, right? Realistically speaking, you're probably going to have guys transfer out at the end of next season. You're going to need to replace more than just your seniors. But this year, Nebraska's replacing around that 7 or 8 number. 6 or 7 number.
Yeah.
And that was only with a select few being forced to move on because they exhausted their eligibility.
3 seniors, right? 3 seniors, the rest were transfers. And I don't know where you focus, in terms of position-wise, where Nebraska is going to focus their, priorities in the transfer portal. But I do hope that they go with more of a youth movement in terms of transfer portal additions, getting some guys who maybe are redshirt freshmen, some sophomores, some guys that have a couple of years that maybe won't mind. I know when you enter the transfer portal, you're looking to play right away, more than likely, but won't mind maybe sitting 1 year because, as you mentioned, this not this coming season, but the season after, there's going to be a lot of bodies that are forced to move on, not enter the transfer portal, move on, but are forced to move on because they won't have any more eligibility. So if you can get some guys and say, like, look, you might not play this year, we'll try to get you in, but at the same time, like, next year is going to be your shot. We can guarantee you that because of how many people are going to move on. we're not guaranteeing you a starting position, but we're guaranteeing you a better shot at playing time because of how many people are moving on. But, looking at position wise, it's kind of tough to see. It's kind of tough to look at it and say, oh, this is definitely what Nebraska needs.
Here's what's interesting. When you look at Nebraska basketball, Fred Hoiberg specifically, I think part of the recruiting pitch for a big man, let's just use William Kyle for an example. William Kyle would play here if Nebraska were able to obtain his commitment. If they go out and get a guy that maybe is a little bit more of a project, and instantly I'm thinking like a Matar Diop, or potentially another Rink Mass type, maybe not as polished as Rink Mass.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of a true athletic big. I look at that as Fred Hoiberg is going to be able to use Derek Walker as a reference of, look what we were able to do while he sat out for a year. Look at what we were able to do when he sat out for an extended period of time for reasons out of his control, whether that was transfer or whether that was the whole 5 games in his final season.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, Derek Walker made strides. And part of that credit goes certainly to Derek, but a lot of it goes to the coaching staff. Nebraska feels pretty stable coaching wise, right? You haven't heard to this point, and the carousel's pretty much exhausted of coaches moving on. They didn't have any coach attrition. They didn't have any guys leave, any guys fired, move on, whatever the case may be. And so for the most part here,
that's important.
You can talk about stability at a place like Nebraska. It's important. And so there's been an improvement in development. And we always like use the cliche reference of development when talking about, just coaches and rosters. But there's been a proven track record at Nebraska where if guys are in the Fred Hoiberg system for longer than a year, they show improvement. CJ Wilcher's one of those. I think you could also say that Keisei Tominaga was one of those. If Keisei was still streaky at times, but Keisei was Keisei.
I mean, you go from his first year to his second, third year.
Exactly. I think most importantly, like Derek Walker's the easy one. Guys that are here for a little bit longer than a year, or in just one place for a little bit longer than a year, feels like there's a pretty proven track record that they're going to develop as quickly as possible. Jamarcus Lawrence, I think you could say over the course of the season, right? Because he didn't really play a whole lot in the first half of the season in his freshman year, but then second half of the season, he was kind of asked to play a little bit more because of Denham Dawson, because of some injuries. So Jamarcus played well. I don't think Nebraska staff, actually, I know Nebraska staff wasn't expecting to lose Jamarcus.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want to have Jamarcus move on. Ultimately, he did. And so now that's another piece that you have to kind of replace if you're Nebraska. So we know Nebraska's got obviously the Gavin Griffiths, Raleigh Worcester, and Andrew Morgan for open scholarships still. But you look at the distribution, and you have on scholarship, so this does not count the Sam Hoibergs of the world, who is a junior.
Mm-hmm.
But going into next season, you will have Nick Janowski and Braden Frager as your 2 true freshmen. You have Gavin Griffiths as your sophomore, and then 6 seniors. Jawan Rink, if he decides to return or not, Bryce Williams, Aaron Eulis, Andrew Morgan, and Raleigh Worcester. So you're kind of obviously top heavy at that point. But if anything throughout the first couple of seasons with Fred Hoiberg showed us anything, it's that living and dying by the transfer portal at a place like Nebraska, where the NIL is completely, NIL at Nebraska is fine, but in terms of the entire country, out of whack.
Yep.
You might not be able to compete against some of these better schools that have a more proven track record of recent success.
Well, especially looking at NIL wise, just the sport, like NIL at Nebraska is in a good position. But if you look at NIL basketball wise and Nebraska, and you look at teams around the country, sure, Nebraska has
I think it fits
big
in pretty
following,
well.
and it's
I think
pretty
it
well.
fits in pretty well.
But you look at, a Kentucky, Kansas, even some of the teams in your own conference, in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio State, Michigan, even though they weren't that good this last season, like some of those teams, when you think about it, NIL wise, maybe not, but like history wise, that also plays a part into it. Like a team that's had success plus the NIL backing that some of those teams have, it's going to be a little tougher for Nebraska to kind of compete with those teams. But, when you look at it right now and you look at the scholarship distribution that Nick was just talking about, I mentioned that I wasn't sure what position they were going to look at, position-wise in the transfer portal, but just hearing you mention the seniors, you say Rink Mass decides to come back. You say Andrew Morgan. Well, those are two, high-level transfer. Well, Rink Mass for sure, a high-level transfer that you got, one of your big men, and Andrew Morgan, another big man that you bring in, hopefully a high-level transfer. You look further down the line at the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, and that big man position is a little lacking.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something that Nebraska is going to look at. But when you, as you mentioned before, using Derek Walker kind of as a reference point, that should be something that would be able to attract, younger big men in to say, like, look, we can use you in this sort of way, even if you're not wanting to be, a pass first big. You don't have to be, but look at the way that we are able to get him the ball and allow him to create on his own, or, with Rink Mast in this situation, get him the ball in the post and allow him to do what he needs to do. There are different ways, and that's like two different big men that they're able to kind of use as reference points for transfer portal guys, where if you're more of a pass first or a head down, shoulder into the defender type of big man, here's something that you can look at. If you're more of a post up footwork, quick hands type of big man, here's the guy that we've got for you.
I'm interested to see obviously the direction Nebraska goes when it's all said and done. It sounds as we've gone on throughout today, it sounds like Connor Esigian is there's a pretty good chance that he ends up being a Husker when it's all said and done. It's certainly a guy that can light it up behind the arc. Husker fans will know it if you remember watching that game at the Kohl Center back earlier in conference play for Nebraska basketball. Didn't really do a whole lot against Nebraska at PBA, but Connor Esigian kind of lit the place on fire up in Madison earlier this year. Esigian, 6'4", 195 pounds. He was a sophomore, so he's going to have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Connor Esigian back in the early parts of the year, back on January 6th, he started out 4 for 4 from beyond the 3-point line. Had a really nice day off the bench for the Wisconsin Badgers, was a big part of that 88-72 win against Nebraska later on in the season at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Had just 4 points, 3 points in 4 minutes of play. So did not play a whole lot. Mm-hmm. That Nebraska game was one of the last ones where he saw double-digit minutes. He only saw double-digit minutes in 1, 2, 3 of the last 25 games that Wisconsin played after Nebraska lost at the Kohl Center. So understandable why Connor Esigian would want to move on, I suppose. He's a guy that's visited Maryland. Now he's visiting Nebraska as well.
Trying to stay in the conference.
I suppose so. Trying to stay in the conference there. It sounds like Nebraska will host William Kyle for a second time as well. So we'll see what happens there. I think Nebraska fans, and I said this on early break this morning, I'm going to say it again here. I'm curious, Rico, if the people in the state of Nebraska fans as well,
mm-hmm.
if we need to calm down on this narrative or thought process of guy comes to high school in Nebraska, he leaves the state to go play college ball, he's ready to transfer back, it's a lock to Nebraska. And this isn't just a Chucky-centric question, this is or a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
This can be a William Kyle focus, this can be John Tonji, this can be St. Thomas, Hunter Salas, whatever you want it to be.
You look back at
Max Morrell as well from
look
Stanford.
Is he in the portal?
He was from Stanford.
Oh, yeah.
In the portal.
You look back at last year's transfer portal class, and you had a couple of guys from Nebraska that entered the portal, and they didn't end up at Nebraska. I mean, you had Latrell Reitzel leaving Cal State Fullerton, ends up at Alabama, makes a Final Four run. John Tonji leaves Colorado State, ends up at Missouri. St. Thomas left Loyola. I think that was like 2 years ago, left Loyola and ended up at Northern Colorado.
Yep.
Like, it happens, and it doesn't mean automatically that they're going to come home because they're looking for better opportunities. And Nebraska, look, even though it's home for some of them, that doesn't automatically mean that it's a better opportunity for them.
I'm also interested to see, like, some guys, if they know they're not an NBA guy,
mm-hmm.
with the NIL, do they just go for the biggest offer?
See, there's that.
Speaking, I mean, let's be real.
I get that.
If I'm sitting there as a junior, I have 1 season left. I say junior. This is not in reference to Chucky. If I'm sitting there in as a junior, I have 1 season remaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could come here and play. All right, yeah, I can play 12 minutes a game or whatever, and get 100 G's, or I can go to some other school that is completely off the radar, get 350 grand. I know I'm not going to the NBA. Maybe I have a shot overseas. Well, we're going to take. I don't think when either side is not necessarily a national championship contender, it becomes about fit. I think it becomes about vision, staff, experience, and then just then at the end of the day, NIL as well.
To me, really, in that situation, if you know you're not an NBA guy, there is the
because you have
side,
to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, there is the side where it's okay. Let's make as much money as I can before I end up going overseas or end up not
being
playing basketball
yeah.
anymore. But with that part of it, I think it's more about getting actual playing time and being able to be on the court. And it's like, look, this is my last year. I'm not going to be playing competitive basketball after this. I want to play as much as possible, as much as humanly possible. Doesn't really matter about the money. I have my entire life to make money. I can do, whatever, live in the town where I played my best basketball and live off of that kind of hype, whatever. But to me, it's more about getting as much time on the court, playing the game that you love at a competitive level for that final year, more than it is about the money. Maybe a little bit more, but just a smidge more. Because the money, look, at some places, if you're getting paid, like, I don't care if I'm playing 10 minutes or 25 minutes. If you're going to pay me as much as some of these kids are getting, yeah, I'd do it.
I also believe that when it's specifically involving Chucky Hepburn, a guy like that enters the portal with a plan. A guy that's a focal point of an offense or of a program like Chucky was at Wisconsin. They do not just jump into the portal without a thought.
Some sort of idea, especially late.
You see that more often in younger guys. Frankly, like, let's be honest, the ones that transferred out of Nebraska, where they may see that or believe that their value is higher than it actually is realistically. They got bad advice. You see a lot of those premature type of decisions from younger guys. You don't see it from players that played a crucial part, led the team, or was second in the team in scoring, I believe, was one of the focal pieces of the entire program in Chucky Hepburn. You don't see it. And so that's where it's like, there's not a whole lot of, I'll say it, smoke around Nebraska with Chucky Hepburn. I think that also there would be an inkling that, hey, you know what? If Fred Hoiberg believed that Chucky was going to be in play, maybe don't go get Raleigh Worcester from Utah. Maybe you don't get Gavin Griffiths from Rutgers because you know that there's a potential for a package deal with Chucky and Frankie. I think like those things are in play. And so reading kind of the context clues that Nebraska has had and how they've orchestrated through the portal, they're ready to move on.
Yeah.
They're ready to have this rumor of, and there's probably no rumor. There's this thought of like Chucky playing in a Nebraska uniform, ready for it to be done. Like that. And it's probably time for like Nebraska fans and even us who talk about it on a daily basis and think about it. It's probably time for us to be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we need to stop thinking instantly during the season, after the season, before the season. Okay, if this guy enters the portal, he's from Nebraska. Nebraska's immediately in play.
It's
because
crazy.
I think that's changed completely with the current landscape.
Oh yeah, it was crazy before when Frankie was in the portal. Before Chucky even had any type of inklings of him getting in the portal, people saying, "Oh, Frankie and Chucky want to play together. They're going to transfer to Nebraska." It's like Chucky's not even in the portal right now. Like he's still at Wisconsin. Like he is committed. He is going to play for Wisconsin, and then he enters the portal. But you're right. They go out and they get Raleigh, and you're not going to go out and get what many people have dubbed a true point guard senior, and then go out and get a true point guard junior senior. He's a junior, right? Does he have another year?
Yeah.
Chucky does?
Yep.
Yeah. You're not going to go out and get Chucky to be a backup or start over Raleigh after you just had. That's not something that you're going to go do. So I think it's safe for Nebraska fans and for us to just kind of lay that to bed, to just tuck Chucky and Frankie away and just say, all right, you go do whatever you're going to do.
And cheer from afar, right? Or if you don't want to cheer, because whatever, that's fine too.
Whatever. I'm a cheer from afar.
There you go. Bellevue West guy.
Always. T-Birds fly together, baby.
Yep. There you go. All right. Good stuff there. So, I mean, if you had to, if I had to put my prediction hat on, a Sejan, probably a Husker, I would assume so. It seems like there's a lot of smoke there. Not so much with Maryland anymore with Connor Sejan. Not a great defender, good shooter though. So, I mean, you kind of know what you're getting there. Gives, I guess you can look at it with the glass half full mentality of, all right, it's going to give Nick Janowski and Braden Frager an opportunity to maybe develop a little bit more in this season. Yeah, so you have that. You got Nebraska still needs a big man. And that's why out of that trio of Frankie, Chucky, and William Kyle, that's why I said this morning that William Kyle, in my eyes, would be the most valuable pickup for Nebraska.
PBA would go wild.
Specifically for Nebraska. Maybe not for every other school, but for what Nebraska needs, what William Kyle can bring to a team, and with the thought of an expectation that he'd be here for 3 more seasons. That provides more value, I think, than considering understanding Nebraska has went out and attracted a point guard. So
that type of big man is something that Nebraska hasn't had in a while. An athletic big man.
Like Andrew Morgan, he doesn't stretch the floor nearly as well as Rink. I'll be interested to see. And once this picture becomes a little more clearer, it'll be better to talk about it. But
be interested to see
the potential lineups with Nebraska basketball to where Omaha Burke baseball, enjoying the scooters. But the way that this lineup could shake out, I'll be interested to see if Rink Mass comes back. Do we ever see a time where Rink and Andrew Morgan are on the floor at the same time? Andrew can stretch the floor not as well as Rink Mass, but then it's like, are you going to be able to get a solid enough of a big man this late in the process to be able to say, yeah, we're going to ask you to play majority of minutes of the first half? And it's just going to be interesting, but I guess put the trust in Nebraska's head coach and their coaching staff, who is here from last year and trying to build off of a 20+ win season. So, all right, good stuff there. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line, open for you guys the entire show today, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. When we come back, Nebraska baseball gets ready for a test against the Maryland Terrapins this weekend at Haymarket Park, and something is going to be new. It's a new concession item. We'll tell you all about it when we return. Give you our thoughts. We want you to give us your thoughts as well on the text line, on the phone line. We'll do that next on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. If the week's been too hectic to even think about dinner, or your family can't handle one more night of leftovers, then it's time to let Hog Wild do the cooking. Hog Wild's family packs are one heck of a good deal for a complete barbecue meal loaded with all the smoked meats, tasty sides, buns, and sauces you need to feed your family. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
The Red White Spring Game is coming soon. Do you know your tailgate meal for before and after the game? Führer's Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate something for all Nebraskans, made in Nebraska. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you tailgate without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's Cheese Spread. No spring game party or tailgate is complete without it. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Banking should feel personal, not intimidating. At Western National Bank, we're about real connections. Founded by two ordinary guys with an extraordinary vision, to know each and every customer personally. Fees, they suck. Avoid all fees with Western National Bank's Compass checking account. No monthly fees, no minimum balances, and get this, 5.12 APY on the first $1,000. Open your Compass checking account online in 5 minutes or less at mywmb.com. Experience the difference with Western National Bank. Visit mywmb.com. Member FDIC.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, this is State Senator Carolyn Bosden. Education is a cornerstone to building a strong, vibrant community. I voted for the historic increase in funding for education in the legislature. As a state senator, wife, and mom, I believe Lincoln is a great place to work and raise a family. My husband Reggie and I are local business owners and understand the valuable role of education in our community. This is Carolyn Bosden, and I am asking for your vote on May 14th, paid for by Bosden for Legislature.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
I don't believe you people.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket. Theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert and Rico with you. So teased it before the commercial break, and we'll talk about it now more. Nebraska Board of Regents passes the motion to sell alcohol at Haymarket Park by a 9-2 vote. Husker baseball games will have a new menu item moving forward. This was all broken by Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald. You hear him about once a week on the block. Now, this goes into effect immediately. And that was part of the conversation prior to all this, was that everything is there. The infrastructure is there. You should be able to move in and just do it just like that with the snap of a finger.
Right that way.
And here we go. Right. So tonight for Nebraska baseball's home game against the Maryland Terrapins, you will be able to purchase a beer if you would like at Haymarket Park. Nebraska gets ready to face off against the Maryland Terrapins tonight. Maryland, the defending Big Ten champions last year. Nebraska and Maryland actually played each other, I believe, what would have been the semifinals last season. And that was the one where it was rain. It was delayed during the game because of rain. Then they ended up going to extra innings. tied at like 1 run apiece. It was a really, really good game. Jace Kaminska, I believe, was the pitcher on the mound for the Huskers in that game against the Maryland Terrapins. Terrapins had the Big Ten Player of the Year in Matt Shaw in their middle infield. Matt Shaw was drafted by
give me a division.
NL Central.
Guardians.
That is the AL Central. The
Brewers.
Chicago Cubs.
Of course he was.
The Chicago
Why
Cubs.
would you be asking me if it wasn't the Cubs?
But it still took
So
you
dumb.
2 guesses, and you still got them both wrong.
I still went to the AL.
You still went to the AL, the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
wasn't that a hard-hitting, home run-hitting Terrapins team last year?
Yeah, they did hit a lot of home runs. They hit a walk-off home run. That's how they won the game.
Of course they did.
They hit a walk-off home run in the 10th inning, I believe it was. That was a game also where Nebraska, they were coming in off of a win against Michigan State in the previous round. So Chris Kaborik, the interim president, obviously, and Troy Dannon were both in attendance today. Some of the opposers to this, the people that didn't want to vote yes to alcohol, they use the reasoning of think about the families. The only people that benefit and have their experience enhanced are the adults.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, if you're not 21, you can't drink, or you shouldn't drink. And so,
them's the rules.
That was kind of one of their responses and reasonings for not wanting this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end of the day, I would say this: people and adults, I suppose, with children, can indulge in a beverage, right? You just don't want to overindulge.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Chris Kaborik pointed it out today in the Board of Regents meeting. There have been very limited fan incidents when alcohol has been involved. So you hope that would carry over into a setting like Haymarket Park, and we'll see where it goes. But no, this is going to be just an added amenity for Husker fans as the Board of Regents passes the motion to sell alcohol at Haymarket Park by a 9-2 vote earlier today at the Board of Regents meeting. And this has moved so quick because as of 2.5-3 weeks ago, it would have been 2 weeks ago, actually. 2 weeks ago today, they were at an impasse. The Salt Dogs, the university, at an impasse. It did not look like there was going to be any common ground to be found to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted 90-10 split. They wanted more money than UNL was offering. And they found a way to come together and figure out, okay, we're going to put the revenue back into the stadium and into the park, which is, I think, a positive thing. This isn't just Husker baseball. You'll also be able to get it at Husker softball. So that entire complex will be installed with the infrastructure.
So it'll probably be cans.
Pro can or anti can? Would you rather have a draft or a can at a game?
I'm pro can, but I like souvenir cups.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm a big fan of a souvenir cup. So if I get a cup somewhere and I can take it back with me and just be like, hey, I have a lot. Not a lot. I have a couple of the Scott Frost cups with the signature on the inside. Yeah, those ones with it changes from like him as a coach to him as a player, like holographic type thing. I have a couple of those. I like souvenir cups. They're nice.
It is public information of the two nays, the two people that did not want to pass this motion. That the two names are public. They're regents.
Yep.
Barb Weitz, Weitz, and Kathy Wilmot. So Wilmot are the two that voted no to having alcohol in the in Haymarket Park. So I would say that at a baseball game, I'm probably pro can.
Pro can.
Are
you? Do you like the metal bottle?
Metal bottle? Yes.
Yeah.
I like the
aluminum
bottle.
Aluminum is a metal.
Yes, aluminum bottle.
Because they're not going to give glass. Obviously,
it will be interesting. I mean, like I said, I brought this up earlier in the week of like promotion nights. It'll be interesting to see if Nebraska baseball or Nebraska marketing dives into promotional nights.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are we doing on midweek games, $2 tall boys, like Tall Boy Tuesday, Salt Dogs do it.
It's a thing. It's possible.
And there's ways to mitigate, obviously underage and things like that with college students.
And you stop selling after the 7th inning.
But also, like, I'll be honest, like at the end of the day, also you don't get students at games. You don't get many college students at games. It's free for them to go to begin with. And I truly don't know also, all right, who's going to be wanting to just get absolutely blasted on a Tuesday night?
Seems like a bad idea.
It does. It does. And you have a couple weeks you only have a couple weeks left of school, so you only have to really worry about the college students for like another month.
Is there a student section at baseball?
It's usually so the way it works is you have to enter through the outfield gate. And then basically, with your bridge. And so at least this was last year when I graduated. When I was a college student.
Back in the day.
You enter through the outfield gate behind the center field wall, and you have you scan your N card, and you have a general admission ticket. That's all it is.
You just sit wherever.
No,
we're at general admission.
Yeah,
they should there should be a student section somewhere.
Well, we'll see. Maybe with alcohol revenue, you can.
Maybe. I would say on the berm, but a lot of families sit out there.
The most
you got to be careful with the families.
And this is a good point. At $10 to $15 a beer, nobody's going to sit there and get hammered.
Exactly.
So
you're not buying 5 beers at that cost.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Yeah. Plus, if it's like the same type of cans and everything, and I would imagine that they're working in sync with the Salt Dogs. I mean, it's like you can get like the taller Busch Light cans and stuff, and I think they're like $7 or $8. So they have the seltzers there. They have all that stuff. People, let us know if you do go to the game tonight. Obviously, if I were to go, it'd be as a media member. If Rico were to go, it'd be as a media member. So we're not partaking to begin with. But it's let us know. Tweet us a picture, Nick_Sainer at Radio Rico AC of you enjoying a beer at the ballpark, because that's part of it. I mean, that's just the experience of it's maybe not tonight, maybe not this weekend, but in May, it's going to be, all right, yeah, you know what? Guess what? We're enjoying a beer at a ballpark.
I want to enjoy
on a sunny, hot day.
I want to enjoy a Nebraska ballpark beer vicariously through the listeners.
Yeah.
Please tweet us pictures of you enjoying your beer.
Yep, exactly. Please do.
It's necessary.
Let's go ahead and head to break. When we come back, we're going to give away some Omaha Supernovas tickets. I know Austin gave some away yesterday. It's our turn today to give away some Supernovas tickets. If you're looking to go to the Omaha Supernovas versus the San Diego Mojo tomorrow, then stick around. We're giving away right when we come back. You're listening to the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Grab a free burger and beer at LA Power Sports of Lincoln on April 27th during their Husker Spring Game tailgate. Meet the LA Power Sports team, play some tailgate games with them, and enter for a chance to win an official John Elway autographed football. Check out their huge selection of boats and watercraft for the summer, along with hundreds of motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-sides from all the major brands. Stop out and watch the game with them on April 27th. LA Power Sports of Lincoln, 27th and I-80. They'll be tailgating all day.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Mike Minner, what's up, bro?
When you look at Dylan, you're looking at quarterbacks that kind of come around once every 20 years. And this is a kid I'm looking at, I don't know how old he is, 17, 18 years old. And he is already directing things that 17, 18-year-old kids should not even know. Changing the line protection. Okay, guys, I don't know what we've been 2 weeks of practice. Come on, man. Well, we got guys in the National Football League that can't do that.
The Double the Savings sales event is happening now through April 22nd at Bonsall Pool & Spa. During this event, buyers can take advantage of up to $1,500 in savings and receive 0% APR for 60 months. Visit the Bonsall Pool & Spa showroom at 33rd and Pioneers or visit their website at bonsallpool.com to learn more about their hot tub sale. Act fast because this offer ends soon. Bonsall Pool & Spa, every day made better.
Are you ready to take your seating season to the next level? Now's your chance with Landmark Implement's early order program. Don't miss out on the best deals of the season on new John Deere air seeders and drills, including the N500C Central Commodity System. Experience the ease of operation with the new N500C's intuitive design, simplifying your seeding process and saving you valuable time in the field. Lock in the largest cash discount, snag the best financing rate, and ensure availability on a new drill. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Hi, it's Tom and Mike from Husker Rewind. And did you know that people who are represented by an attorney are often compensated up to 3 times more than someone who is not?
Friedman Law has been helping injured people for over 60 years. It's all they do. If you're ever seriously injured in an accident, call Friedman Law at 402-476-1093.
Friedman Law is a family firm that works hard for Nebraska families just like yours.
So if you're ever injured on the job or in a crash, contact Friedman Law at friedmanlaw.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nobody goes to McDonald's more than you. Nobody.
No,
every meal,
I
every call. I mean,
don't go
every meal.
every morning you're there.
Every morning goes to McDonald's every day.
I do it. Oh, I go every day.
Is it?
Yeah,
How many
that's what I
times?
mean. That's a lot.
How many? I mean, sometimes
I'm
twice
saying
a
in
day.
the next year I go 9 times. I
That's
go
high
9.
for me. I'm not going 9
Oh,
times.
I mean,
to
7
McDonald's.
times
Yeah.
a week. 7
Yeah.
times a week.
That's what I mean.
Yes,
But there's a lot of
every
times
day.
though. You go more than once a day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. So it's
But I just
500.
get coffee.
But you go 500 times a year. That's a lot. 500 times a year. The most I'm at is 9. I'm at 9. Jake's at 4, and you're at 500.
I say 4 to 5 for myself.
So I said 9. You said 500.
Put it that way.
It is. Just do the math.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert
and tell me there's a God.
and Enrique Alvarez Clary. Sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tricky stole my headphones at school.
Wow.
Welcome back into the happy hour.
Thievery.
93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We were talking about seats at Haymarket Park yesterday, or not yesterday, last
Seats
segment.
or seeds?
Seats.
Okay.
With like student section, do they have it?
No.
They don't. It's just general admission tickets. Guys, let me ask you this. Most underrated spot at Haymarket Park, where is it? And there is a correct answer.
I mean, you're a Pepsi porch guy. I know that.
Oh my gosh, I love the Pepsi porch. Nice job, Austin. It's the Pepsi porch. If you are going to a Husker baseball game, the Pepsi porch is where you should watch.
I've never sat there.
It is awesome.
Got a home run ball against Baylor.
But that's
there
only,
at one point.
That's only because you're freaking Cancun special. You want
Cancun
all the
Nick.
sun. You want, yeah.
No, it's not. There's
It
a
is.
shaded. That's why I like it. Is because there's a
Exactly.
shaded over
Cancun.
top.
You know where the most underrated place to watch the baseball game is from? Is from
He's gonna say
the
from his house.
Nope.
It's from the playground because that's where I am the whole time. Because the kids.
Well,
leave the kids at home.
For you or for the kids?
They're not watching me.
Well, I don't like the spot
It's-
where we do our remotes. I'm going to tell you that because it is hot like fire.
It
in
is.
there.
Well, the ACs don't really work.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why they're putting the money back into the stadium.
Thank goodness.
Please put the ACs in the
My
suites.
no.
God.
So the thing
ACs in
is-
the suites.
So
please.
the thing is, when you're out there with the kids and they're playing in the playground, you just stand right over the visitors' bullpen.
Yeah.
So you're just right back there. So you just watch the game there, and you can just hear some of the conversations that are going on. Every once in a while, get a home run ball hit over there. One of them went over the fence.
Wow.
And
Jack Caglianone.
some kid
516.
8 straight games.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Some kid immediately climbs the fence, runs out, grabs it, climbs back in. I was like, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
See, and Gorilla Bear says now you can watch them on the playground with a beer.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
care.
excited.
Hey, listen, Uncle Kev came in here,
Yeah, you left your wine glass.
and when I tell you the brew that he brought in yesterday, that's the
That
one you
good?
need out there.
It was
Oh my
good.
gosh.
That good.
I need to go over
the-
there
okay, so
after work.
Stricky was the fan of the Pinot that he brought in.
Okay, the wine.
Pretty deep red. Stricky was a fan. The beer was Koala Tears, is what they called it. Cross strain. And it was, what was it? It was a sour ale with pineapple,
Ooh.
coconut, and cherry.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a coconut guy, but that sounds
No,
amazing.
like
No,
you
you don't
didn't even
even
get the
taste it.
coconut.
Really?
No.
Yeah,
Usually
and
coconut's
apparently it
overpowered.
was 6%. I don't believe it.
That's a patio pounder then.
Just Stricky said.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so it's time to give away Supernovas tickets here. 402-464-5685. The Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. The first 2 people that text in the correct answer get a 4 tickets to the Omaha Supernovas match tomorrow night. First 2 people will each get a pair or 4 tickets. Gosh, I keep saying a pair of 4.
You good?
4 Supernovas tickets tomorrow. Good seats, really good seats. I would highly recommend participating if you got nothing going on
I
Saturday
would
night.
go. Big fight.
Here we go. What college did Brooke Nuneviller attend? I need to know what college,
What
what
a name.
university did Brooke Nuneviller attend? If you text in the correct answer, and you're the one of first 2 people to get it correct, then you're going home with 4 Supernovas tickets for tomorrow night's match against the San Diego Mojo. First serve at 7.
Yes.
First serve at 7 p.m. All right, we'll watch. William Pate is correct.
There you go. And
Dirty Tony and the boys. There we
it
go.
is.
There's our winners. It's the Oregon Ducks. Quack. Oregon Ducks. Just like that.
Along with like 95% of the Pro Volleyball
Yep.
Federation.
Congratulations.
Everybody
You
went to.
would
There's
be
like,
able to.
How
She has
many
like-
natties, though?
the same as the logo on the center court.
Yeah.
0.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh.
How about that?
Oh my gosh.
How about that? All right, nice job, William Pate and Dirty Tony and the boys. William Pate, I would like your email, please. Please send in your email so I can transfer those tickets your way. So once again, congratulations, William Pate and Dirty Tony and the boys. Gentlemen, good afternoon. How are we doing?
Great. Big fight this weekend.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be at the game.
Did you watch it last weekend? Did you buy the Gaethje fight and stuff
I
last
didn't
weekend?
buy that one.
Man's got brought to the center of the ring and knocked
Dude,
out
the
cold.
man got brought with
Who
10
did he
seconds.
fight?
He fought Max Holloway.
I saw it. I saw the
Tricky,
knockout.
Tricky.
Max
So-
Holloway pointed
so my,
in the middle.
So
of
my
the,
girlfriend's
Yeah, that was
family
her.
bought the fight. So my girlfriend's family will buy the fights and then they'll invite a ton of people over and just kind of hang out. And so that's what they did last weekend. And I wasn't too invested in it until Gaethje came out. But man, Max Holloway, first of all, broke his nose in round 1. I mean, that nose was so crooked and it would not stop bleeding.
He could smell his own armpit.
It was bad. It was bad. And so, nonetheless, so he broke his nose or damaged it badly. And then Max Holloway just won that fight. Like, if it went to the end through 5 rounds, it would have been a decision Max Holloway would have won. So, with 10 seconds left in the final round, that's when he calls Gaethje out. And he's like, come in the middle, right here. So Gaethje walks up
They
there in the
banged
middle
out.
and
like a lamb to the slaughter.
And then
Got
with
caught a
one,
couple.
they slow-moed it. They slow-moed it with 1
Left
second
cross.
on the clock. He knocks him out.
Left cross.
Because he like calls him
so
to the,
filthy.
calls him to the middle, hits him with
Cold.
a couple. He starts kind of backing up a little bit. He's like, no, come right. He's like, right
back here.
Right
I mean,
here.
that's
He's
like
like, you get back
cold.
over here. I mean, it's for the BMF belt. Like, there's no, you can't.
Yeah.
I was talking to DP about it. I was like, you can't, like, for that belt, like, it has to be a knockout. I can't go to decision. And he's
What's
like,
the
look,
BMF belt? That's a new one. Oh, bad
yeah,
mother.
Yeah.
You bad mother sucker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I was telling DP, I was like, you can't for that belt. It has to be a knockout, right? And he's like, look, if I'm Gaethje, like I'm not going to the center of the ring. I'm not.
You can't make me.
I'm not getting knocked out. Like I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It goes to the decision, you lose, yeah, whatever. But you don't have to get knocked out. Go to the hospital and concussion protocol. Like just take your loss. Take your loss. I was like, nah. For
Those
that
guys
belt,
do get concussion tests after every fight, right?
I do believe so.
Thank goodness.
If you get knocked out, you can't fight for like a certain amount of time.
Right.
So,
This one's Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia though. It's in the boxing realm. They've been talking a lot of trash. So
that's how you sell a fight.
I'm gonna go sit down with my partner in crime, Cluster Johnson.
There you go.
I thought
get
it
it
was
done.
Austin
No,
that's
I
crazy.
don't live that street life. So
Well, he doesn't.
I'm his partner
He doesn't. I was saying,
in
he
law.
doesn't. He doesn't act
We're
like
law partners.
He doesn't act like he knows you outside of the radio station. Is that right? Is that
Yeah, I
what I'm
still don't
hearing?
have his
No,
address.
he's been to the
but
house.
I have not been to the house. Stop the cap.
You know
Stop
what?
the cap. Stop the
I
cap.
can't
Take it
believe
off
you
your
sitting
head.
here right now.
Take it off your head.
You're sitting here right now telling them fibs. I can't believe it. Wow.
Dang.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Partner in
I got
crime.
thrown under the bus, and
I know,
he's been
Stricky.
sitting down on the couch. That's
Why
crazy.
you lying?
Hey.
Why you always lying?
Nick, we got to be careful. The law offices of Orman and Strickland might be breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Strickland,
That's right.
and Orman,
This
Strickland.
is
Whose
when
name
they,
comes first?
This is when they
Stricky.
try to. Is it like, have you guys seen Suits on Netflix? Anybody
Have
seen
not.
Suits?
no, I have not.
Highly recommend being it. Watch Suits if you can.
Being
It's hot in here.
Is it?
Okay.
in here?
It's getting hot in here.
No.
Stop at the cap, please. Take the cap off
That is
and
enough.
stop.
That is enough.
Y'all are crazy. Let's go.
We're crazy.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. You keep
What are we
changing the
doing here?
subject.
What are we doing?
To Nick's thing before about Jack Caglianone and his 8 straight games with the home run.
There we
Saw
go.
this really interesting graphic from Mike Petriello, who writes for MLB.com. The OPS in the SEC has risen in the last 5 years by 60 points. The slugging percentage has also raised by 50 points, which is kind of insane and makes me wonder, are
Yeah.
the bats getting
What's in the
better?
ball?
Are the balls getting juiced?
Balls
or
are
are the
juiced.
players just that much better?
I think
Because
the bats
there's
have
no
got
way
a little
across
bit of-
the conference
You know,
it should be raising by like 0.12 every single year.
the bats are unbelievable stacked.
Oh, I
You
would.
know.
Like look at these numbers.
Timeout. I would.
There's a lot
I
going
would
on
say
there.
differently.
Ooh.
They've actually deadened the bats in baseball. Softball, they've made them a lot hotter. They've made the bats a lot hotter. They've thinned the walls quite a bit in softball bats. Like there's the bats like Easton Ghost Advanced.
So is Billy Andrews' record legit?
Don't.
That's not what I'm getting at. Like the Easton
I
Ghost
think it is. I'm just asking.
Advanced. They make so the reason that a lot of these new bats break, whether you're at the college level, high school level, select, whatever the case, is that within the bat they thin the walls of the bat, thin the barrels, which makes it hotter right off the bat, right off the jump, right first swing, and then over time, once that thin wall continues to take a beating in the same exact spot,
It deadens quicker.
that is when it's going to deaden and or crack, right?
Yeah.
So where with composite bats, it's you kind of have to go through this break-in cycle, right? With so when you're talking about like the thin ones, you're looking at the first, I don't know, 225, 250 swings with it are going to be the hottest that you can hit it. The hardest, you're going to get the best results. Now, with composite bats, those were with one-piece aluminums. With composite bats, you're going through this break-in process to where you want the walls of the bat to somewhat get hit over and over. That's why it's important when you buy a composite bat for all the high school guys out there. Rotate it when you're swinging off of a tee. Rotate it when you're swinging off of like forward toss or BP. And you want to take 250 to 300 swings before you use it in a game, because you're not going to get the best results right off the jump. It needs to basically break in. So
I didn't do that, but I still had pop.
Well, because Strick, you're just
different.
an anomaly.
It's unbelievable.
So
didn't
that's
know
the
that.
thing.
I didn't
So
know that. That's a
it's
technique.
so part of that is like now with composite. I'm guessing a lot of these college guys are using composite bats, and so you gave yourself an opportunity throughout all of the preseason non-con games to really break it in. And now you're getting into your groove where we're seeing the ball maybe jump off the bat more consistently.
That rotation makes perfect sense. I don't remember. I swung both in high school, but my thing is I was such a creature of habit in the batter's box. I would always hold my bat the same way. Like with the sweat and the way my gloves gripped it, like there's a perfect spot where my fingers would always grip it.
Yeah.
So I'd hold it one way for BP,
and that's part of it,
and hold it the other way in the game.
Yeah, that's part of it, right? Because I mean, whatever sport you're doing, whatever sport you're doing, you're just a creature of habit, right? And so, especially in baseball, softball, things like that, creature of habit on the mound if you're a pitcher, and that's why it's so difficult.
That's why you dig out the little trench.
Yeah, at the higher levels too. I mean, it's why it's so difficult to manage the game, is because you don't have the ability. You don't have the ability to like slow yourself down. And we see it a lot in the youth, though. Like guys on the mound will get into a rhythm, and they'll pause for a second, deliver home. Pause for a second, deliver home. Pause for a second. They get into a routine, and so guys on base are able to steal bases easily. Well, once you get to college, guys become understanding of, I got to slow myself down, slow down the process, and then maybe speed myself up for a couple of times. That's what made like Johnny Cueto with the Royals so dangerous and basically shut down any potential running game from the opponent, is because every single pitch you were on different times. So not only are you screwing up the hitter, but you're also screwing up the base paths and the opponent's run game.
But now's the time clock.
Yep. But now's the time clock.
Stricky, speaking of routines, when was the point you had your free throw routine and stuck with it? Like, when's the last time you changed your free throw routine?
I would probably say after college.
Was that when you were working with Kiki? Did he mess with that at all?
No, he didn't. I got into a spin 3 dribble set shoot. In college, it was pretty much just a 3 dribble sit shoot. So I kind of just flipped it up just to kind of, the spin was just to allow me to get a deep breath. And then it was just 2 sit shoot. Yeah. But I stuck with it. And you talk about routine, it is so important, because if you're doing so many things different ways, there's an inconsistency in how you shoot shots.
You could, right. With like, it's important to get into a routine, but it's important to switch up timing, like in baseball specifically. Right?
Oh, in baseball, definitely.
But in basketball, yeah, absolutely. Like that timing, that repetition.
Enrico, you're the other college athlete in the room here. Sorry, Nick.
That's okay.
But like,
hey, we're in this together, Ross.
We are. Pre-race routine. When did you get your pre-race routine and stick with it? Like, when's the last time you changed it?
So I am an extremely superstitious person. So for me, my like pre-race routine for me, it was really just I don't eat the day of meets, which is probably a problem. But I did not eat until I was done with my races. I would have like
even the flaming hot Cheetos.
No, I'd have like that was somebody else. I would just have like water and maybe like a banana. But other than that, like I'm not eating like a breakfast or like lunch until I'm done. But in terms of like getting in the blocks, I guess that would be my thing. Is anytime I'd have a bad race, I would change one thing.
Gassy.
I would change one thing about when I get in the blocks, but for the most part, it was the same every time. Where I'm getting, jumping, shaking the legs out a couple of times, stretching, and then walking back into the blocks, hands and feet, and then setting my feet.
Headband.
How many steps? How many steps you walking back?
I always start behind the blocks. I would walk forward 4 steps, jump, shake the legs out twice each side.
Left, right, right, left, right, left, right.
Left, right, left, right.
Okay.
Bend over, touch the toes, shake the legs out again, and then start walking back, hands and feet until I get to the blocks.
That's usually what I would do too.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, before we get out of here, did anybody see Jack Leiter's MLB debut?
No.
I thought Riley Green was not happy with the first 3 pitches.
So Jack Leiter was called up. You might know him as the son of Al Leiter, formerly of
Is he a lefty
Vanderbilt.
too?
No, he's a righty.
He's not.
Formerly of Vanderbilt. He was on that rotation with Kumar Rocker. So he was called up to the Rangers this week. He started yesterday's game against the Detroit Tigers, went 3 2/3, allowed 8 hits.
Oh gosh,
7 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts.
It's a bad look.
Not a great start.
Yeah.
However,
great start. Not great start.
Yeah. On the flip side, has anybody seen what Paul Skeens is doing in AAA?
Talk to me.
Unholy.
He is currently in his career has a 1.86 earned run average in his career.
Okay.
However, 2024 minor league stats, 0.00 earned run average.
No earned runs.
And he's thrown like a 75
yes, he has
100
faced,
mile an hour pitch.
He has faced 37 batters, struck out 27.
Yeah.
Only 10 players have ever
touched the ball.
hit the ball in fair territory off of him.
Wow.
Everybody
Why
else
is
is
he
striking
sitting
out.
in freaking AAA?
Well, so there's a thought process behind this.
Yeah, I need to understand
The
that. That's
Pittsburgh,
crazy.
the Pittsburgh Pirates might be playing the marketing game a little bit. They want to wait till Livy Dunn's, his girlfriend's, her gymnastics season at LSU is completed.
He's dating the Moolah
yes,
girl.
Yes, he is dating Livy. So you have the number one MLB draft pick dating the number one NIL earner in Livy Dunn.
It's crazy.
They're now this is speculation. Waiting to call Paul Skeens up to majors until after her season is done, so she can be there.
Yep.
Because as we saw in College World Series,
TV
is if she's there, a lot more people are there.
They're the new.
I don't know if you know this, Strick. So it was
Kelsey.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Yeah.
At the College World Series,
that was nuts.
At the College World Series, Livy Dunn was there. Nobody knew that she was going to be there. People were swarming her at behind home plate, so they had to move her up to a suite at the College World Series.
Like the College World Series
Because
people had
she
to
was
move
there.
her up
Yeah.
because there were too many people blocking.
And by people, we're talking like 14 to 25-year-old boys.
Yes, there were too many people blocking the steps and blocking
Crazy.
the concourse.
Yeah,
because they were trying to like get a picture of her, a picture with her,
Yes.
or like get an autograph from her. So like the College World Series or like Mecca, like they were like, all right, you got to go.
Yeah, we
Like,
got
we can't have
we
you
have to
here.
take you guys upstairs.
See, I was at Blur having a
Well,
ball.
so
Are we back?
Well,
Are we back?
Are we back?
We are. Maybe. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Okay.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Anyway, yeah. Well, so fun fact. Speaking of the Blur people, never mind. We'll tell you off air. Sorry, never mind. Anyway, so Paul
Nick just wants to say everything.
Yeah, I got antsy. So Paul Skeens, though, AAA affiliate for the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Indianapolis Indians. I'll also say this, folks. In a couple of weeks, guess who goes to Omaha? The Indianapolis Indians. So Paul Skeens could be pitching in Omaha in just a couple of weeks.
Well, he ought to be pitching for
I need
6-game
tickets, Nick.
series.
Well, no.
Yes, but
Since you work with
he,
the-
like if he pitched like
I don't know
the
what
day
you're talking about.
before.
But if he ends up pitching in Omaha, so that would be something to draw fans out there as well.
When does the gymnastics season end? Do we know?
Well, they just punched their ticket to the Final Four. I saw
Did they?
because Oklahoma like biffed it.
Dude,
How far did they
Oklahoma
go?
biffed it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did they?
Oklahoma like had
They're
a-
like number one.
biffed it.
Like of all
Yes.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LSU got to the Final Four.
Wow.
Well, I know the ladies. Did they get past the first round?
Who,
I hadn't been able
Nebraska?
to see, yeah.
No, they did not.
No, they
They
did
did
not.
not.
They finished third in their region.
Yeah.
Region?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like Utah, LSU, Utah, LSU, and two other schools made the Final Four.
Arizona.
Utah A, LSU A, Utah B, LSU B.
Yeah, seriously. So that's the speculation is that the Pirates are playing the marketing game and are waiting until Livy Dunn can be there.
Do you think they've
to go to
told
the
Paul
game.
Skeens that?
I don't know.
If it's true,
I don't
do you tell a guy
know.
that?
We're
Like, hey
not-
man, we like you. There's a reason you took your number one overall, but we also like the money your girlfriend can bring us. So chill.
Well, here's
hold there for a
what's
little bit.
crazy. Okay, so then this kind of all works together.
If you call him up and she's there and then he has a bad game.
Or what if they
she's-
break up in
she's
the
been-
next 2 weeks?
She's
what
been
if
to the
she's-
Indianapolis games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what if she's like, what if like it shows it? Yeah, but
Once again,
it's the show. She shows up for that and he has a bad one, and then she's like, never mind.
I'm making enough.
What
out of
was-
this.
what
She's
was-
like, I don't like you anymore.
What was Paul Skeens' signing bonus? Because like Adley's was
Substantial.
like 8, so this one was 9.2 million.
Yeah,
signing
not
bonus.
bad.
Not bad. There you go.
Not bad.
Oh, I guess
I
it'll
mean,
do.
I've seen better.
I mean, it's fine, all things considered.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, I guess that'll do. Because that was what was crazy. Because the year before, what was it? Jackson Holiday had 8 point something. It was 8. It's
4,
risen.
I think.
Yeah, it's risen. Oh, here it is.
Yeah, and he's terrible.
So Dylan Cruz, who was the number 2 overall pick, got 9 million. Spencer
That's
Tor-
for a signing bonus?
Yeah.
Jackson Holiday last year in 2022, the previous year, got 8.19.
Inflation.
How about this? Adley Rutschman got 8.1 the year before Henry Davis. What was it? 6.5? Yeah, 6.5.
Yeah.
That jumped.
So
inflation.
So well, because you have slot values, right? So you can go up to a certain amount. So like the Pirates this year with Skeens had slot value of 9.7. So they actually signed him for $500,000.
He's a bargain.
They got him on discount.
What a deal!
It's basically on the clearance rack.
Yeah.
So
Let's make a deal.
5% off.
Yeah, 5% off.
Essentially what they got.
So yeah, but no,
you're making
deal or no deal.
I freaked
Deal.
out when I saw 37 batters faced, 27 strikeouts.
Yeah. Crazy.
Not a single earned run because they never get guys on base.
That's like Nick in MLB The Show.
Yep. As the pitcher, of course.
I used to date a
Not
little
the
bit
hitter.
done type.
All right, it's time for us to get out of here.
Yeah.
What's coming up on the show today?
We're gonna hear who's
dated
who's a Livy Dunn type, so that'll be the first hour of the show. Stick around for that.
Jeez.
Once we're done with Strick's story, we'll talk a couple Husker basketball transfer portal targets. Oregon basketball getting a new court. Do we need more or fewer
feathers?
Unique court.
Are they getting more feathers?
They're like sanding off the trees.
Yeah.
like they're not like moving.
They're just trimming
sanding
trees.
it off. Yeah,
And they're going to redesign it on top.
They're just trimming the trees.
Tree trimming.
No, like they're all gone. Not just like
they cut the trees down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where's the Lorax?
With the sand.
I speak for the trees.
I am the Lorax and I speak for the trees.
Virginia might have
Let it
figured
die,
out
let it
NIL.
die, let it shrivel up and die.
We got 20 seconds.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Too late now.
I'm sorry.
Tune into the
Austin.
show and find
All
out.
I thought about was the Lorax.
I know. I
All
respect
right,
you
we're
for
out
it.
of here. Talk to you on Monday.
Adios.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Cobble. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and Air Park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their experts